I know you guys have been waiting for this for a long time, a long time, and I'm excited that you're excited about this. So let's just go ahead and get started right now, and we're getting live stream. So very excited to be here. Emmie and I are firm believers of the crypto space. Blockchain technology is changing a lot of things, including the funding space. So we're very excited to be here and present a number of companies that have very incredible high quality and high caliber. So no further ado, I just want to really quickly walk through a little bit about today's agenda. First, Emmie will talk about Superbloom.Capital with you guys for a little bit, and then we'll have Titus talk about some of the common practices for ICOs, and then we'll have companies present as a demo day, go through the company presentations. As you know how it works, Silicon Valley, and then we'll wrap up after that. So let's give a round of applause to Emmie Chang, co-founder of Superbloom.Capital.
So here's a little about me. I just wanted to tell you about me, about Superbloom.Capital, a little bit about what we're doing with Collective21, and a little bit about investing in the space. So previously, I've been in education technology for the last 10 years, and I had a Y Combinator-backed company. Previously, I bootstrapped a couple of companies in the school district and ed tech space to $3 million without any outside funding. So I'm sort of an entrepreneur. I'm here to take it to the next level now. And 1 year, I actually did work on the International Space Station, so you could call me mini rocket scientist as well. But what's important is that as an education technology person, I taught extremely hard engineering concepts to third graders, which means I have the background and understanding of taking extremely complex concepts, such as blockchain and tokenized economies, to explain to you all. And so my background is in electrical engineering. I have an MBA in finance and investments as my favorite class. So now I get to combine engineering, technology, startups, venture, finance, all together in this world. So our company is called Superbloom.Capital. And we're an accelerator, yet we're also a crypto investment manager. And recently David Sachs wrote in CNBC in an interview last week that the future of venture is really a combination of an angel investment crowdfunding platform and a venture fund. And that's what we're building today. Superbloom is the name of Superbloom came this year when we had more rain in California than we did in the last 4 years. And this caused a drought. This caused us to end a drought. And so here's a picture of a superbloom on a mountain. And this year in crypto, obviously, we reached a superbloom point. $100 billion in market cap happened in June. We had a slight dip through July and August, but we're back bigger than ever before. And we think this is the inflection point where you took the enthusiasts that were sort of underground, this alternate world, these people that were sort of underground into crypto, and we're bringing it mainstream. So now, capital on Wall Street, family offices, real capital, we're talking millions and millions of dollars, are flowing into crypto right now, and this is really the inflection point for that. So we're a team of founders and finance innovators and engineers who really understand the fundamentals of crypto assets, tokenized economies, and product. In this room alone, I'm sure we have lots of founders who have built massively awesome companies. And what's happening in the ICO world is that these companies are raising a lot of money, but they have no idea how to build technology products. They have an idea, they have a great white paper, but their vision and their ability to execute on that is limited. And we think that we can help. So here's our team. We're engineers and business people from the top universities in the world, backed with the best education in startups. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we evaluate ICOs from our company, and then we'll talk about the companies themselves as we showcase, and then we'll mention Collective21, which is our own tokenized economy that allows us to use blockchain to enable everyone to access funds. So we call it the Superbloom quotient. Now the Superbloom quotient is internally based on 3 main factors. And when you're investing, how many people here actually invest in crypto? How many people here are interested in crypto and have not really invested? Cool. So everyone has their own way of evaluating ICO, and really, let's just take a step back and look at it from this perspective. Are you trading or are you investing? This is very different. When you are an angel investor or venture, you're just investing. But when you actually buy into an ICO or a token, you can actually become a trader. And this motivation is completely different. Being a trader, you're just looking for the pops, you're looking for volatility, you're doing a swing trading, you're looking at algos, you're trading against other currencies. All of these are technical aspects of foreign exchange trading or stock trading. So that's a very different aspect than investing, which is when you buy and hold. The second aspect we look at is, so for example, the Superbloom strategy. We at Superbloom help companies with Accelerator, but we also have a hedge fund. And our hedge fund helps those people like yourselves who don't want to DIY, and we work with accredited investors who just want exposure to crypto en masse. And this is our allocation. We take a look at 40% new ICOs, 50% existing coins, and we actually buy seed. So only our hedge fund buys 10% of this product we call seed, and I'll explain to you a little bit more about what seed is later. And when we have a portfolio strategy like this, it helps us go in and make decisions on what we're buying. So first off, you should make that decision. The second thing is identifying deals and deal flow. Now on the internet right now, there are thousands of avenues. There are WeChat groups, Telegram groups, all sorts of different places that you can identify deal flow. Now, identifying which ones are good, that's a different issue. If you just go Google ICOs to buy or upcoming ICOs, you will get inundated with ads and you will get retargeted over and over because ad spend, everything, everyone's spending a lot of money on marketing in this arena. So once you've identified the deal flow and you've identified the ones you want, how do you evaluate? And what we've created internally, and we're going to open source the next couple of weeks, is a Superbloom Quotient, which is a series of different frameworks that we use to evaluate. But it's the exact same thing as what a venture fund would do or an angel investor would do. Just three basic things: team, technology, and token economics. We look at if the team is going to be able to execute, what their background is. We look at the technology, is this solving a problem that people want or have? And the third thing that's kind of weird and new that isn't existing in venture is this thing called token economics. Have they designed their token to make it valuable for network effects? And so you think about that is, will the players in the environment keep using that token and that currency over and over so that it becomes valuable for all the players who are supplying the data or supplying something to get the tokens and those people that are paying tokens to get that access? So that's really important. And what we do is after we have a Superbloom Quotient value, then it becomes a threshold above that. So now that you know a little bit about Superbloom, I want to introduce to you guys Richard Titus, who is an angel investor and serial entrepreneur. He's working on our team to tell you a little bit about ICO investing from the venture perspective as an angel. So give it up for Richard.
So I first encountered Bitcoin and blockchain from a book written by a friend of mine named Mark Jeffrey. I don't know if any of you have ever seen it. You should definitely buy it. I'll give you some money. He wrote it 7 years ago. I read it cover to cover. Thought, distributed contracts, kind of interesting, and then forgot all about it. And then a mutual friend of ours, Brock Pierce, about a year or two later, gave me 10 Bitcoin as a spiff for signing up for some software product he had just launched. That's right, 10 Bitcoin, which at that time was worth less than $1. I put them in a wallet. I forgot about them until a year later, and I noticed you could buy pizza with this Bitcoin. I spent 2 of them to buy a pizza. Yes, that's an $8,000 pizza. So obviously, things have come a long way. Frankly, it wasn't that I didn't take it seriously then. I was very intrigued by this idea of the distributed ledger, and I liked that, all of the sort of framework idea. What I didn't really believe in initially was this currency idea. I've always thought there should be digital cash. I thought it should exist from the very beginning of the internet. And I was sort of surprised it didn't arrive. However, when I went to Bitcoin and blockchain events, the people I saw at those events didn't seem very likely to supplant either the Fed or JP Morgan. That has really changed in the last year. Big time. So what happened? How did we get here? So the first thing that happened, if we're all being very honest, is the dark web. So there was a set of transactions and activities that drove a bunch of people to begin to use Bitcoin as a currency to buy things. And initially some of those things were illicit, just like Internet 1.0, which I experienced founding Razorfish and then later on Schematic. The next thing was the growth of remittances. So it turns out this technology is really good for moving money across national boundaries, particularly when there's currency controls, particularly when there's egregious bank rates for exchange rates. And then of course it grew into things like smart contracts. You could actually give someone money, but have that money have some dependencies on it. More recently, and I really do think this has a lot to do with it, we've seen a rise in sort of global geopolitical, geoeconomic strife and insecurity. And that has made people begin to think about portability of money. And that's not something, my parents didn't think at all about portability of money, but my grandparents and my children's grandparents who were in the Holocaust definitely think about portability of money. And so I'm not saying we're in another Holocaust right now, I'm saying that the world is more insecure today than it was when we were children, and that's causing us to start to think about money in a different way. We also live in a more global economy, a more global planet where you spend money, you collect money in different ways. All of these things have driven people to begin moving a small portion of their money into this new currency. And whether it's a currency or a stock or a derivative or a future, Constantine and I were joking about that the other day. I don't know. But what happened is you had 50 billion move in last year. I think you'll have 100 billion move in this year, probably 200 million, or 200 billion if you look at the extra linear curve that most things grow on. So we're talking about a big wave. And it's a real economy. So you can't order an espresso now without hearing someone talk about an ICO or the blockchain startup starting. And so all my VC friends, after calling me and begging me to forward them the email I call the red pill, which is a list of links, if you have any to add to it, please leave them to me. They then call me back and say, can you meet me for coffee and explain this to me? And if I actually meet them for coffee, which I'm doing less and less, the next thing they ask me is, isn't this a bubble? And I say, yeah, do you remember how I made the first chunk of money I made? They say, yeah, Razorfish. And I say, great. What did Razorfish get started in the middle of? And they're like, a bubble. And I said, yep, and I bought the book about this yesterday on Amazon. The wave is real. And anyone who is a surfer knows that the thing you do when there are waves is you get your wetsuit on, you get your board, and you go out in the water. You cannot catch a wave from the beach. So why, when I think about investing, why am I involved in this? It's very simple. I go where the action is, and the action is in blockchain, the action is in crypto, and the action is in ICOs. And frankly, it's better action than as an angel using an AngelList syndicate. For the last 6 months, I had both running side by side. I syndicated 6 deals with a guy named Barney Hell, who's one of my oldest friends, ex-head of machine learning from Microsoft. They were amazing companies. I'm certain we're gonna have some exits out of there. It was a lot of work, and we raised a total sum of, get ready for it, $7.8 million. In the same period of time, I advised 4 ICOs, including one with Con here called Poet, and the combined aggregate cash raise, and I'm sorry I'm using fiat, but I'm still old-fashioned, I still think in dollars, $76 million. Which is better as an investor, as an advisor, as an entrepreneur? It's very clear where the action is, and it's not really in the old economy. I think we're gonna have a bunch of great companies here today to talk to you guys about the new future. I'd encourage you to pay attention and listen and understand that crypto is not just about fintech, it's not just about media, it's not just about the ledger, it's about a new way of thinking about things, both decentralized, a way of distributing trust, and a way of really connecting both people, money, objects, and economies. And my favorite thing I'll close you with is, of all of those companies that just did their ICOs, only one of them was based in the US.
Woo! First, I just want to say, we're the world's largest, biggest, first meme search engine, VC-backed. That's not why I'm excited to be here today. I've done lots of demo days. This one's the coolest. Everything good starts underground, like physically. And this is what I was putting up while everybody was coming in. Now this is a popular meme that was sent to me right before I got here by my co-founder. There's another version of this that's Snapchat, that's Instagram, and that's innovative product features. So like, this is a popular meme. But this says a lot about what's going on right now. We typically build a company together with VCs, and we're not leaving them. We actually love VCs still. I have no love lost for them. But ICOs are about as disruptive as I've seen in 15 years since I graduated from Stanford. Bigger than the Facebook platform, bigger than the iPhone platform, bigger than ad tech. Put them all aside. So let's go back. We are, well, we're Meet.me. We're the biggest meme search engine. We're already backed by some of the biggest names in VC. So you'll be joining great company. But most importantly, we're a Stanford-backed team. We've been working together for 10 years. We've been friends forever. This is the business we're building for the rest of our lives. How many VC-backed businesses can tell you that honestly? We're never gonna give up. If you invest with us, the beautiful thing is you don't just invest with a bunch of dudes on Sand Hill. Everybody across the world. I've given these presentations in a bunch of rooms just like this. You know who's not there? A bunch of people that went to business school together. No offense to the VCs, again, but this is a good thing. You'll be joining hundreds, if not thousands of investors instead of 2 or 3 from Sand Hill. So stepping back, memes are huge. You guys may not know what a meme is, but everyone else does under 30. We caught on to this wave really early. We're already bigger than Giphy was at this stage. Consider us the Giphy or the YouTube of memes, if you will. That's our growth graph. And I'm not even excited about that. I'm excited about where we're going. So we're already taking off. Like, we've taken the land. We're already going to be the Google of memes. But I'm telling you today, the biggest business we can build is the one I'm actually raising for right now through an ICO. So we're creating a coin to power the entirety of the meme economy. Imagine how big YouTube became. Imagine how big Giphy became. Imagine all that, but now tokenized. So the reason why this is important is because of what that allows us to build. So we're building the first meme stock exchange. That sounds weird. You haven't been reading Reddit enough, perhaps. But we're launching a coin as the only currency that you can buy and sell memes as futures, as a game. Then, next year, after we hit our funding milestones, we're launching a series of games and platform integrations with the top memers in the world. Quick note, top 100,000 memers, think like Fuck Jerry or Beige Cardigan, control 5.1 billion followers. And they don't want to sell ads, they want to sell their memes. Stepping back, why do you do a meme stock market? Well, if you didn't know, there's a bunch of multi-billion-dollar stock markets out there based on futures. We got sports, we got Hollywood, you even got dating. These games last, and they're economies that grow if you build them correctly. But luckily, we've been in consumer tech long enough, we've been paying attention. So we built the first version. It's running, it's functioning, and people can make money on it. But it's closed right now, soon to be opening up. Right now, we report memes like they were currency, or like they were revenue on public earnings. People buy and trade them, and you can profit if you buy a meme early enough. And then the second step, that 100,000 memers, just the top 1% of memers control 5.1 billion people. They don't want to sell fidget spinners and Diet Cokes. They want to sell their memes. They want to do what they do for a living. So I guarantee, after this year, you're going to see us with our long-term partnerships with Fuck Jerry, Know Your Meme, and we're launching all the digital collectibles to their massive audience. Now look, I know you're early, and you're trying to get a grip on it, but if you can do it now, there's a bunch of reasons to invest in us, but primarily, if you invest now, which is the top 20%, we're going to sell as much as we can over the next 2-3 months. If you're in the first 20%, they have superpowers. That's why we're here with Superbloom, that's why we're here with StartX. The first 20% block is important, and the block moves. So if you invest early, or if you're just right outside the bubble, get more people to invest. You get in the bubble. So, quick recap. You're already getting this by investing in us. We are the YouTube, the Giphy of memes. I was out doing VC demo days, but this is more exciting, to be honest. I love the people in this room, the people watching, the people around the world. We're already the next one, but we're not going to do what they did. We're going to do it bigger and better for the long term. We've already sold millions. This number is actually not updated. There's a little bit left in the pre-sales, 90% sold. And most importantly, the momentum is here. The excitement's palatable. My team's excited, top tier investors are excited, and the biggest memers are excited. So that's it, we're Me.me. I encourage you to listen carefully to each company, because this is really the start of a big wave of entrepreneurs capturing the biggest opportunity of their lives. Thank you.
Anyway, good to be here. Thank you, Superbloom. It's actually, I think, a real honor to be part of their first batch of ICO launches. Let me talk to you a little bit about freight. Domestic freight is a $700 billion economy. Freight network is building the efficiency layer for the future of this economy. So think big. Freight touches literally everything in our lives. From the chairs we're sitting in and the phones we're holding, everything moved on a truck at some point in its life. You know, if you go outside of here, get into, anyway, the freight's a giant world moving $700 billion of goods across the country from point A to point B every year. My name is Jon Fox. I'm the founder of Freight. I've been operating in this business for 15 years. I've moved over $1 billion of freight to companies that I've owned. I understand the pain points of this industry intimately. I got into Bitcoin a few years ago, and I started trading Bitcoin and crypto and started reading everything that I could get my hands on about blockchains. And it became clear to me that blockchain technology was the perfect answer to the asymmetry of information in the freight industry. Freight's a very old business, right? Its biggest modernization happened about 100 years ago when we switched from shipping everything on railroads to shipping them on trucks over the road. So during that modernization, we also built a massive layer of middlemen called freight brokers. Let's get into some stats. There are 15 million trucks on the road today. Today alone, we spent $200 million on freight brokers. So that's essentially a tax on every shipment that we send. And that tax doesn't even really go to the small broker who's doing some valuable work to move shipments. That tax is going to the owners of large freight brokerages. We can disintermediate the large brokerages by building a trustless token network. We can lower costs and we can break up these monopolies. The freight network, what it really does is it moves the value into the token. We create a free market through visibility and allowing shippers and carriers and even independent brokers to interact on a blockchain network. I'm really excited to tell you that last week we closed FedEx. They're the largest trucking company in America. We signed a deal with them, giving us, thank you, an 86% discount with FedEx. That'll let us compete with any large brokerage anywhere in the world. We're in the middle of inking similar deals with a lot of regional companies, a couple of national carriers. We're in discussions with Dole Foods, with Uber Freight, with the Staples Company. I forgot to introduce our team. Sorry, I'll put in my own slides like this. We have built a really good team of tech entrepreneurs, because I'm a guy from the freight world who really started learning about blockchains a few years ago. So Konstantin Richter, who's here tonight. Konstantin is the CEO of Blockdaemon. He recently helped launch Poet. We have Adam Helfgott, who's CEO of MadHive. It's a blockchain ad tech company out in New York. And Tom Bolick, who is one of the founding members of Zynga. So we're launching our ICO in mid-November. We're going to be raising $25 million. We're going to use that money for customer acquisition and technology. So in closing, Freight Network is going after a $70 billion freight brokerage business. It's a network effect business. We've already partnered with the largest trucking company in America, and we're well situated for the future of self-driving trucks. So thank you very much.
Thanks everybody, thanks for having me tonight. I'm really excited to introduce The Wild. It is a decentralized platform for augmented reality. First, let me start with some background on our team. My name is Michael Witz. This is my co-founder, Dan Lind. Together, we've been building companies for over 20 years. We've been pretty successful at it. We come from the mobile game space. The last game we launched is called Cookie Jam. It's done about 500 million in revenues to date, 100 million downloads. The Wild is also backed by Superbloom.Capital and the Y Combinator. We are about to witness an incredible explosion in AR. Apple is releasing their AR kit in the fall with their new iOS 11, and it's going to enable over 1 billion existing smartphones to have AR superpowers. So let me tell you what we're building. Let me show you. Here's a typical street scene in San Francisco. Anybody using a mobile phone will be able to hold up their phone and access the Wild and have instant access to games, commerce, community, avatars, any service that any developer wants to build. This is going to be the open and decentralized platform where they can actually rest assured that they will own and realize the value of the work that they do. We're going to jumpstart things with a virtual land sale, and we call it the San Francisco auction. We've taken San Francisco and we've divided up all of the parcels. There's 450,000 approximately unique land parcels in San Francisco. Each one of those is going to have a unique address in the blockchain. They're going to be real virtual property. And you can see here, this is my friend Mark Pincus. It's a Zynga building. I wonder how much it's going to be worth for him to own this and keep it out of the hands of somebody from Electronic Arts. Whatever he's going to pay, he's going to need to use wild coins to purchase it. This is going to be the currency of the realm. We are going to hard cap them at 750 million tokens. And they are going to have instant utility from day one because they're going to be able to use to purchase any asset that exists in the wild. We are raising a 10 million pre-sale, and then we are going to raise a hard cap 25 million ICO that is going to be broadly distributed on a pro rata basis so that we have maximum distribution. So just to recap, we've really put together an all-star team. We're just on the cusp of a really big explosion in augmented reality, and we're kicking things off with a really unique virtual land sale in San Francisco. And so if anybody here would like to get a unique parcel, I'm going to offer one time only, and only if you do it tonight. If you email sf@thewildcoin.com, just email me and ask for your parcel, and I'll hook you up. Thank you very much.
Yay.
Good afternoon. My name is Heatherm Huang. I'm the co-founder of the Measurable Data Token. Yeah, so Measurable Data Token is a decentralized data exchange economy that connects users, data providers, and data buyers. Sorry. Yeah. So Measurable Data Token is a decentralized data exchange that connects users, data providers, and data buyers. And to denominate the value of data. Sorry. And sorry. Sorry about that. And it is not a secret that the users they usually compromise their personal data as a trade-off for using those free apps and free services, and also those companies who collect those data and to make a profit out of it, but the users they usually not aware of. And also the data buyers are also at the risk of buying the fake and invalid data from those data providers. Yeah, so we create a solution that we create a solution that they can decentralize and transparent the data. So data exchange. So the Measurable Data Token will reward users for sharing valuable anonymized data. And also, the data buyers, they can trust every single data point contributed by the users are real. Yeah, so basically, the Measurable Data Token is created by the Mailtime team, and the Mailtime Messenger app and also its big data product will be the first to adopt the Measurable Data Token ecosystem. Currently, Mailtime has around 4 million users on iOS, and we also partner with 7 of the top smartphone makers to distribute the app, and also to distribute with the entity's wallet on it. And the Mailtime's big data product currently passes more than 10 billion of the actual consumers' emails to create the consumer insights for the so we launched the product as part of the TechCrunch Star Battlefield, and our app is also named as one of the best of 2015 on App Store by Apple. The company is incubated by the Y Combinator earlier and also won a couple of awards out there. So our early backers and advisors includes some of the top names in Silicon Valley and Asia, and also we also have the backers like some biggest Bitcoin miners and Ethereum miners in the field. So we already did a successful private sale last week. So we raised $6 million in the private sale in just 4 days without any marketing and PR. And so to sum up, I was so nervous. To just sum up, we are the team of building the best of 2015 app by Apple, and and backed by the Y Combinator. We raised around $3 million from the VCs and angels earlier, and we did token private sale in 4 days, raising $6 million. And we have already 4 million iOS users and partnering with 7 smartphone makers to distribute the app. We are now passing billion actual email data. Thank you.
So we're creating a new path for conducting clinical research going forward. And why is this a big deal? Clinical research is big money, right? Every year we spend $64 billion on clinical research services, but it also has massive problems. You know, the first thing is it has huge costs and inefficiencies. Every single day a clinical trial gets delayed for enrollment reasons, for other reasons, methodological reasons. It costs the company $600K to $8 million. That's per trial per day. And it's hobbled by no collaboration between investigators and research groups because data is locked in silos. And the third big problem is 80% of clinical research data is non-reproducible. So that does not engender much trust. Aqua platform accelerates clinical research by creating a horizontal platform for trusted, privacy-controlled, confidential data sharing. It has 3 primitives. The first one is decentralized encrypted data storage. The second is an algorithm layer that manages smart contracts, and 3 is a blockchain that manages tokens for data access and for crowdfunding. So what can you do with a platform like this? You can crowdfund clinical trials, you can rapidly recruit patients for clinical trials, you can foster collaboration and optimize collaboration between independent research groups by efficient pricing for data access, and you can create a research data exchange. The first trial on this platform is approved and is ready to start in September 2017. This is the largest trial to date to test the reversibility of aging in humans. This trial is completely crowdfunded on the Aqua platform. Participation is tokenized. Protocols as well as results are published on the blockchain and can be verified in a trust minimized fashion. And token holders get data rights as well as rights to therapies. So that creates liquidity. So our team is comprised of people with background in medicine, science, tech, and crypto. I'm a doctor, serial entrepreneur, and a scientist. My partner, Will, was a professor at UT and is an ex-genetic researcher. Manoj is a Stanford engineer, full-stack developer, crypto. George is a veteran in the crypto space. He created the first prototype of a Bitcoin debit card. Our blockchain advisors are people who are widely respected in this space, have built companies like Gem, Blockstream, Blockfolio. And our scientific advisory board has more than 8,000 peer-reviewed journal publications and are considered like top experts in their field. So what is Aqua? Tokenized, decentralized clinical research platform. Strong multidisciplinary team, top-notch advisors. Our pilot trial is approved and is ready to start in September. Our crowd sale is in November. 2 million pre-sale is already committed. So, thanks guys.
So that was just a sampling, and these teams are a little bit, they are very early stage, that's why they're in the pre-sale. Their pre-sales are not available yet, but these are the upcoming deals that are coming up. And if you notice, one theme amongst these teams are the value and experience they bring to the table. Superbloom.Capital is more of a crypto management and asset management company. And we accelerated these companies and brought them, and a lot of them, as you notice, were Y Combinator founders. They're using their Y Combinator entities because Y Combinator has really been one of the most influential organizations in startup. And when I moved from Texas to California, I didn't know anything about startups. I literally Googled how to start a startup, created a startup, applied to Y Combinator, came here, raised a seed round of $1.5 million, ran my startup, changed it, pivoted, learned the entire environment. And a lot of my friends went on to raise Series A's and B's and so on and so forth. My other company is still thriving. It's almost profitable, and someone else runs it for me right now. So the main difference is that with ICOs, we think that instead of 1 out of 10,000 companies succeeding from a seed level, we really think that we can up that ante because we're using money that's crowdfunded, so really smart people that understand the industry, those people who believe in it, whether they are smart or not smart, but they believe in buying the tokens, so they believe in putting their money for it. And you've got founders who can have a crowd that can respond. And with that, you can take over entire industries. So when you look at freight, you look at Wild AR, you look at some of these industries, you can actually take them over. And with Collective21, what we wanted to do was kind of be our own blockchain and be our own decentralized network. So Superbloom.Capital, I don't want to take the onus that I can build all of the future blockchain startups of America or the world. I want everyone else in the world to participate. And what we did was we took the concepts of Y Combinator and the concepts of building startups into blockchain and combined it into Collective21. This is a tokenized economy where individuals transact and invest and fund a blockchain future. So before I go on to, oh, this is not the right, oh, okay, sorry. Right now we're in membership pre-sale at 10 cents, and I'll tell you a little bit about our membership, and then I'll tell you about the platform that we're built on. You can level up on a deal-by-deal basis, or you can hold seed. And when you hold seed, it really represents, instead of a collective, the platform being taking a commission, your seed value gets a percentage of every single deal that goes through the platform. And this is fully SEC compliant. This is fully not a security. We are not an exchange at this moment in time, and we are not doing anything outside the realms beyond a membership club and an investment community. For example, we start our membership off at $75 at 10 cents. For $75 a year, you can access all of the great deals out there, and platinum memberships are $12,500 seed, which is right now $1,250. So this gives us guaranteed access to good ICOs that we bring in, so you don't have to go on the net and look for things, accidentally send Ether to a wallet that could be spoofed and could be hacked. You're doing all transactions within a private community, but it's on a public blockchain. We're using Stellar as our backend. So everything is decentralized in a sort of somewhat membership environment. And the second thing is once you have a membership, you can choose how much you hold. So if you want to actively participate, you would want the highest tier access. But if you just want to hold seed, by holding seed, it gives you exposure to every single deal that comes onto the collective. Every company that offers their tokens directly onto the collective will allocate a certain amount towards gifts. We call them membership rewards. So the membership rewards are given pro rata based on how much seed you hold. So for example, if you hold 1 million seed, and at that moment in time, there are 100 million seed in circulation, you would get 1% of all gifts. Which means if a company were to sell some amount of money on the collective in pre-sale, but they allocated, $100,000 in gifts, you would get 1% of that. So holding 1 million seed would give you $1,000 of that token of that company. So just by holding seed, which you can also sell on the open marketplace, or you can keep, you will get exposure to every single deal that goes through the collective. Because we think that the collective members really will advise these companies if they want to, or suggest deal flow. So it's really a co-op type of environment, and no one has to feel like who is bringing in the deals, what kind of commissions are they making, all these different things that make me feel weird about a situation, the decentralized world. So, we're living in a decentralized world, and you might think to yourself, this is sort of like a centralized environment. This is sort of an investment community, it's sort of private. But what it really is, it's sort of like a decentralized venture capital fund. In fact, when every individual member has to make their decisions to buy or not buy a token, but because of other people's decisions, they can actually get a piece of the action as well. So here's just a few screenshots of the product that we're building right now. The entire product will be live on October, oh, it looks like horrible. I do apologize for that. So on October 1st, the platform will be live. Those people who are members right now, we're having our automated purchase system go live on September 1st. By September 15th, you will have membership access, and Mailtime has already, is probably going to be the first company that you will get access to pre-sales in mid-September. So as soon as you become a member, you will get access to deals. And Mailtime is the only, not Mailtime, Measurable, the MDT, Measurable Data Token, will be the first pre-sale on our platform. And we're also bringing in a lot of the hottest new ICOs. I'm already negotiating with them right in app. So you can get access instantly in a guaranteed way from 1,000 to up to their largest block size, which could be up to 200 or 500K. And that will all be available immediately as of middle of September and end of October, or end of September. So I wanted to talk about the platform Stellar. And right now I want to bring up the partnerships manager of Stellar. Jed, the CEO of Stellar, was a co-founder of Ripple. And Stellar is a fork of Ripple with some improvements added on. And he's also one of the founders of Mt. Gox before Mt. Gox or Mt. Gox, before it got hacked. So he's one of the original people in crypto, and he really understands exchanges, he really understands blockchain, he really understands decentralized systems. And Boris here will tell you a little bit about why we think Stellar Network is super undervalued on the market right now. And secondly, why we think it's a superior technology and the best technology for the Collective21.
All right, hey everybody, I'm Boris at Stellar.org. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what Stellar is and why it's a good platform for ICOs. So Stellar was founded about 2.5 years ago as an open protocol for payments, and specifically for cross-border payments. So what we allow people to do is financial institutions can send, on behalf of their users, money from one country to another in various currencies. And the goal of it was to allow people to transact in any currency they want to very quickly and cheaply. Because as many of you might know, the current cross-border payments ecosystem is pretty slow and quite expensive with the corresponding banking model. So that's what Stellar was originally built to do, and that's what we're doing now. But part of what we needed to do was allow financial institutions to issue tokens that represent lots of different currencies. So Thai baht, Vietnamese dong, US dollar, euro, whatever it is. So we needed to create a platform that's very easily used to issue tokens. And that's why we realized that Stellar is actually a fantastic platform for ICOs. Because ultimately that's what you're doing, you're issuing tokens that represent various things. So it's extremely easy to issue tokens on Stellar, and it has built-in features that are commonly used in ICOs, such as escrow. You might want to issue dividends. You can whitelist contributors if you want to limit it to accredited investors, etc. As compared to something like Ethereum, which is a Turing-complete scripting language, Stellar limits the operations that you can use. So even though there are quite sophisticated things that you can write into it, it restricts your ability and basically limits exploitable code, because there's only a set number of operations that you can use. It's extremely fast and cheap. So a confirmation time for Stellar is about 3 to 5 seconds, compared to about 46, 47 seconds on Ethereum, which is quite a big difference. And it also costs a fraction of a cent, as opposed to Ethereum's median price of 10 cents a transaction. What I think is one of the most important features that sets us apart from some of the other platforms out there is that Stellar features a built-in distributed exchange, or decentralized exchange. Now what this means is when an ICO company wants to issue their token, they don't need to rely on an exchange like Poloniex or Kraken or something like that to issue, to list their token, excuse me. And if you think about the proliferation of tokens right now, there's literally thousands of them being put up there. You can't expect Poloniex to be able to list all of these. And so what this means, company ICOs using Stellar, it can list the token for sale and have day one liquidity, which is a pretty big deal. This is a bit about our team. Emmie mentioned Jed, our founder, founded eDonkey, founded Mt. Gox, and sold it before it was hacked. And he also co-founded Ripple. And we're not actually a fork of Ripple, we're a totally different code. So he started over from scratch and rebuilt the whole system based on learnings that he came up with during his experience at Ripple. Some of our advisors include Keith or Boris and Aval Ravikant, which you guys are probably familiar with. So that's a little bit about Stellar, and I'm happy to take questions later on. Thank you.
So now that you guys understand why we are using Stellar, we are recommending, so seed is going to be on Stellar, which means that it has instant liquidity. As soon as you buy it, as soon as we give it out, it's going to have instant liquidity. And we're also talking to the major exchanges right now to take seed. As well as on platform, we're using a lot of the capabilities of Stellar to allow you to buy and sell pre-sale tokens. So as we move forward and get more broker-dealer licenses and all the FinCEN regulated items, we will be allowing individuals to buy and sell pre-sale tokens right on platform and do a lot of things that we can do in an environment that is in a decentralized exchange using Lumens and using other tokens that are not necessarily Lumens but ERC20 and different things. So your wallet on Collective21 will have access to all of these different things, and you'll be able to take them off-site to transfer and exchange on other exchanges or keep it with us. You know, we might think that we're the center of the universe here in San Francisco, right here in the heart of SOMA, but we do understand that the next blockchain technology and the accelerators could be coming from around the world. People are advising startups, they're working with them, and we think there's smart people all over, and we would love for them all to be part of the Collective21 network. And so this is sort of the second part of our plan, is that once we build the technology for Collective21 and we get all the members on board, this becomes an open environment where we hope that the members themselves will govern and deal flow within. So for now, Superbloom.Capital is the steward of Collective21, the way that many different kinds of blockchain companies are set up. But as we move forward, we invite different accelerator companies, and we're already happy to announce new ones in the near future that will be launching all of their pre-sale ICOs directly on platform. So one of the main differences is that all of our money from the sales will go, most of it goes directly to the companies to help fund them, and they bring in tokens and also membership. So what are some membership benefits? We think that an environment where people are learning from each other, getting smarter, we don't want to be the dumb money in the group, we want to be the smart money, right? And you know, based in San Francisco and Silicon Valley, we want to learn about new technologies, we want to get smarter. And if you know, how many people know who the dumb money is in the room? Does anyone know who the dumb money is in the room? Can anyone spot it? Well, someone told me if you don't know who's the dumbest person in the room, then it might be yourself. So here's the thing, I'm not saying that you guys are dumb, but I'm just saying is that we, as a collective, you know, nobody knows this world. Nobody is an authority at this moment. But as a collective, we can all learn and grow from each other. And this is an environment that we all want to contribute to the success of blockchain and the success of startups that are decentralized. So right now we're in private pre-sale, so you get access. So today, all of the companies, you can express interest for them directly on this site for 24 hours. This site will only be live for 24 hours because you guys are here tonight. You will have access. If you have any questions, you can email us here. And this gives you access on the pre-sale level, and it's extremely private right now because it's a secure, we need to make sure our website and all of our transaction volume is super secure, so we're still in development for that. And this, we're not publishing a lot to the public because it's not ready. So we are going one by one with individuals, so it's a little bit of a manual process, but that's why seed is 10 cents. When it goes on the market September 21st, it will be 20 cents, and the price will go up, ideally. I can't say that, by the way. I'm not condoning that my product is a security, but it will go up by any means. So, because you guys are here, everyone will get, if you fill out that form on the previous page, which is this, collective21.org/SBDODE, you will get enough free seed to get a free membership. So I can't give away the membership, but I can give away free seed. And you guys will all get seed that you can use to buy a membership at the silver level. And silver level lets you participate, and if you buy additional seed, you can get access to all the benefits and rewards. And some of the benefits, beyond the rewards are tokens, but beyond the benefits will be private events, exclusive activities. We already have talking in London about like a private yacht party in Ibiza. Right before the London blockchain conference, we'll have our own private events, super high end for you guys to meet and talk to other smart people and high network individuals around the world. we will be hanging out here, and the founders of the companies will be hanging out here. So we'll be hanging out here for a little bit, and if you guys RSVP'd or were invited, there's a private reception nearby. You guys are all welcome to come. It's at Trace, and we have it starting around 6:15 or 6:30, so we can head over there in a little bit. It's a 5-minute walk, and we have drinks and food over there, and we have some drinks here.